Well, May was another very interesting month in Lubbock's market. We continue to see a quirky market. So let's just get straight to it and we'll show you what we saw from the month of May for Lubbock. As always, we're going to cover four aspects: a market overview. We'll look at the buyer under contract activity as well as listing inventory and finally interest rates. So let's look at the overall market. We're really seeing a pretty good market for Lubbock starting off this year. Remember, going all the way back to January, we started with over 400 homes going under contract and have maintained at least that pace through the first part of the year. And so, as you look at May specifically, 492 homes going under contract, which is only about a dozen units less than April. Now, remember, April was the first month since 2021 that we saw over 500 homes go under contract. So, still, while we're off just a little bit from April's pace, still very good activity. Year to date, we're up about 3% for the number of homes going under contract. Homes closed, of course, this is a lagging indicator. Most closings are 30 to 45 days after the home actually goes under contract. We saw just a almost 2% increase from May of 2024 to May of 2025. Year to date for closings up over 4%. What is interesting though, median and average sold prices for the homes that closed in the month of May this year were actually down. Now, year to date, both numbers are still up, but this would indicate that there is more pricing pressure on home sellers as inventory continues to rise. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Average days on market still holding pretty steady at around 55, 56 days. Now, if you look at the under contract activity, this is what's really interesting. If you look at this past 3 months, May, April, and March, and you go all the way back to May of last year, these are the highest 3 months we've seen in the last 12 months. So, good start to the year in Lubbock's market overall. First time we've cracked 500 homes, like I said a minute ago, since 2021 when we were for the month of April. Buyers are still hanging in there. What is really quirky and curious, though, is the listing inventory. With the buyer activity being so strong, you would expect the listing inventory to hold at least fairly flat instead of increasing. But if you look at these numbers, we're actually up about 200 homes on the market compared to where we were just even in March. And so it's really curious that while the buyer activity has ticked up, so has the listing inventory overall in Lubbock County. It's again, that's putting more pricing pressure on sellers. That's probably why we saw the average and median prices seeing some pressure last month for the homes that closed as well. So as you look at the interest rates holding fairly steady from April into May, around 6.75% for a 30-year conventional loan. That's where we've been pretty much seeing a mild tick up or down from that, but for the most part, it's been pretty steady over the last couple of months. So, as always, if you have specific questions about the Lubbock real estate market, your property, or any general real estate questions we can help you with, just message us and we'll be glad to help you where we can. As always, we appreciate you watching and we'll talk to you soon.